Arai have a reputation for doing things a little bit differently, so let's see how that's worked out on the Arai Chaser X. The Arai Chaser X, this helmet is going to be used by sports and touring riders alike. It's got a lot of versatility to it, and it's also going to come in the high mid-range to the low premium range of pricing. So this helmet is going to be known as the DTX in America as well. So if you've not heard of the Chaser X, you might know it as DTX, and it's going to come in at $530 at the recommended retail price for a basic stock kind of design. Now, what we're going to do today is take everything out. I'm going to show you guys all the different features of this helmet, and we're going to have a close look at the Arai Chaser X. If you want to learn anything more about mid-range helmets or any kind of motorcycle helmet, then make sure that you check out the live store every Wednesday, because there you'll be able to see the best gear, you chat with me, and also pick up a pretty decent discount on what we're showing. So starting with the material, it's made out of the complex fiber laminate, and basically it's going to be a strong and lightweight version of fiberglass, which is already strong and lightweight. It's going to be an advanced fiberglass. Now we know it's strong because Sharp has rated this helmet. They gave it 4 out of 5 stars in their Sharp safety rating test, a good result, and it's going to be available as well in 3 different shell sizes. Now, when it comes to weight, it's not going to be spectacular. I weighed this one here, which is size S, came in at 1,500 grams. So it's going to be about average, perhaps even a little bit above average. Now, it is the shell of Arai helmets that I find particularly interesting, and that's because of how they kind of take a look at safety. Instead of simply absorbing impacts, they try to manage energy to push it away from you. And that's why we have a very rounded helmet. And we have stuff like this, the ventilation system. It's meant to come off. It's not going to get caught on something, which is then going to potentially cause you injury. So it'll break off. We have the visor system, the VAS system, which is mounted lower so that you have more protection around your temples. We have this here, which is the peripheral belt. This is a thicker piece of the shell, and this is going to help to direct energy away from your body. And all this stuff is, I think, really kind of interesting and really kind of separates Arai from other helmet manufacturers. So let's take a closer look at the visor and their VAS system. First of all, the visor is anti-fog pinlock lens prepared. That pinlock lens is in the box. You do not, however, get a drop-down sun visor. If you want to have a bit more sun protection, you need to change the visor out, which is not that hard. I'll show you how to do it. First, we open up the visor, and it has to be open up all the way. And you'll see here the side pods. This is what protects the mechanism. And to take them off, we just have to push in on this little tab here, and they pop off. Make sure that it's pushed in and that it stays in as well, because that's going to prepare the visor to be removed. So that's the side pod there. It's going to have a little bit of string to keep it attached. You can see a brass tack and a red little circle there, and that's going to become very important later on. Then we'll go to this side, the same thing, pushed in all the way. Make sure it's pushed in all the way as well. And what we're going to do is very easily, we're going to just close the visor and it comes off, and we can just release it. There we go. So that's the visor itself. You can swap this out with a dark smoke or something else of your choosing. So to put it back on is very easy. We'll get to the ventilation on it as well a little bit later on. Now this is where the brass tack and the red becomes important. So we need to line that up on both sides. So I'll do one here for you guys so you can see it. There you go. So you want to push it on so that when it's lined up, you push it on and it seats into that groove. Do it as well on this side. Line it up, push it on, and now it's ready. So while it's still lined up, we go up, that reseats it into the actual track, and it can close all the way. Now these pods, they're not going to go on when it's closed, so we need to open up the visor, and then these pods are basically just going to push back on. Nice and simple like that, and you can close it up all the way. So that's the visor for the Chaser X. So the ventilation is very strong on the Chaser X. On the chin, we have this here. You can adjust it to one of 3 positions. It's going to bring air onto your visor, not onto your chin. So we'll close that up again. You can see here we have 2 vents on the actual visor. You saw them just a second ago. You can open and close these, one of 3 positions, very similar to the chin, just smaller. And they've put that on the visor so that they don't have to mount it on the actual shell. It's going to be better in terms of safety. So you don't have to lose any shell or EPS there for holes. Up top, big scoop, open and close it, pretty standard. And at the back, it's going to allow air out as well. There's going to be a hole in the shell and the EPS, which you can actually see on the inside. I'll show you that in a sec. And then more at the back, 1, 2, and 3. You can open and close them as you like. We have 2 passive vents, one here, one here. Very small, it's going to allow a bit of hot air out. Then at the very bottom, we have this as well in the liner, which is going to allow even more hot air out. So it's a very interesting system, lots of ventilation options on the Chaser X. So let's take the liner out, have a look at how that works. And it's going to be the facial contour system, so it's going to be nice and comfortable. It's going to be pretty cool, removable, washable, all that kind of stuff. So to take it out, we have to unhook this here. So this whole piece stays in, but you do have to unhook it at the front here. So to do that, just basically, as it sounds, unhook it on both sides. And then just pull it out a little bit, just at the front here, not too far. And then we need to take out the cheek pads. To do that, I'm going to open up the visor. Then there we are at the back. I'm going to pull it out, pull it loose. I'm going to pull through the closure system, cheek pad 1. Do the same thing on this side. Pull it out, pull it through with the enclosure system. Headliner, 2 snaps at the front, 2 snaps at the back. Comes out. You can see this stays in. Don't try and take this out, you might damage it. All right, so cheek pads, you can see them here. Little kind of like hook which goes in, that's how they connect. And you can take this off, you can see that EPS which comes out with the cheek pad. And also you do have as well this, so you can adjust how much they fit. Let's put that back on, get it all neat and tidy. This one's the same. Headliner. Now we have 2 snaps at the front, so do keep that in mind. If you're someone who is who's had some trouble with that in the past, you might as well might have this helmet as well. So yeah, if your fit is a little bit off, if your head shape is a little bit off from this helmet, that might cause some issues for you. Otherwise, you can see it's in multiple densities. You can adjust this as you like. So let's get rid of that, and we'll have a look on the inside of the Chaser X. So you can see in there, it's pretty clean. There's nothing out of place. Quality is good. The finish is good. And you can also see there's no channels in the EPS for ventilation. Basically, all the channels in the EPS, all the ventilation is going to just work through the holes in the EPS and the liner. So do keep that in mind. It's going to minimize ventilation a little bit, which is, I think, why we have so many vents on this helmet. So you can see that the liner is fairly comfortable and everything is made to Arai's kind of quality finish. For noise isolation in the beep test, the Chaser X does very well. In the beep test, it scored 14 against a control of 7, meaning it blocked 7 decibels of noise. Quite a good result. It's quite a good showing for Arai there. Then for wind noise, it's by all accounts very quiet. And it's going to be thanks to a strong visor seal and the aerodynamic shape of the helmet as well. So let's just round out a couple things with the Chaser X. Double D-ring enclosure system, you can see it there. It's going to have speaker cutout, so you can attach a comm system to this helmet. It's not going to be too hard. It doesn't come with emergency quick release for the cheek pads, which I find a bit disappointing, especially seeing as this helmet and Arai in general like to really boost their safety. And this helmet is going to come with a 5-year warranty. Now, if you guys are considering picking up an Arai Chaser X, you should consider Champion helmets and the product bundles. And that's because you can get yourself a free dark smoke visor or about $100 off of either a Sena or a Cardo communication system. So this has been our review of the Arai Chaser X. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This full face motorcycle sports touring helmet is going to come in at not the cheapest price, but it is going to be full of Arai's kind of signature trademark quality and style. So guys, if you want to learn more about Arai, anything like that, subscribe to us on YouTube and we'll keep you up to date. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm Chris from Champion Helmets. I'll see you all next time.